Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fair channel. Here today with a small book haul I've had mostly from Pen and Sword books. But before I start with that, I haven't done a video for the past sort of week, mainly because, as most of you will have heard by now, that Queen Elizabeth II died last Thursday. So kind of making YouTube videos didn't really feel right, and kind of felt a little bit disrespectful. But so I thought I'd give it a few days before doing another video anyway. And the funeral will be this Monday coming, so I might not do another video over the weekend. It depends how I feel, really, or kind of how the mood of everyone else is at that particular moment. But it's really sad. I am a bit of a monarchist, and as some of you will know, I've been scouting for like 30 odd years, and I think I've spent most weeks of my life in some form or other having to reiterate the promise, or teaching young people how to say the promise and that sort of thing. And the first line of the Scout promise is, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God and the Queen. So yeah, it's kind of felt like losing a relative, like a mum or a grandparent. So I think for most of the country is pro-monarchy, and obviously you get a few people that aren't, which is perfectly fine. But no, it's been sad, and I kind of feel like I need to, as things are moving on during the week, things are getting a little better, and we'll just have to wait for the funeral on Monday. But anyway, that's why there hasn't been a video over the past week. It's kind of I just really haven't felt like it, or felt a bit down. So, but anyway, I thought I've had a few books in, so I thought I'd do a quick video today just to update you on some of the books I've received, and I might do a weekly reads video sometime soon. I'm not entirely sure when. It depends really on how things go, but to let you all know what I've been reading and what I'm planning to read in the very near future. So anyway, let's get on with the book haul. I've had I've had 5 books come in from Greenhill Books and Pen and Sword Books, and I've had another book delivered from Osprey Books as well. So I'll go through them. First one's Pen and Sword book, priced at £25. This is The Private Life of Thomas Cromwell. By Caroline Angus. £25, published by Pen and Sword History. And it's a nice decent size as well, so I'm quite looking forward to this. An instrumental figure in history because of his close association with Henry VIII. So someone I've not really, I've obviously read a few things about him or watched documentaries and that sort of thing, so I have never really got into reading about him much. I'm looking forward to this one. From the inside cover it says, Thomas Cromwell was King Henry VIII's most faithful servant, the only man the king ever openly regretted executing. But Thomas Cromwell came to royal prominence late in life and had 45 years of family, friends and experience behind him before catching King Henry's eye. Born a common boy at a time of significant change in England in 1485, Cromwell grew up in a happy, close-knit family before heading to Europe for dramatic adventures. Returning to England a decade later, Cromwell emerged with the skills of a lawyer and a merchant, with the European language skills and the connections to match. Marriage, children, friends, family, and manor homes all furnished Cromwell's life. A man happy and settled in London, but more beckoned for the Italian Englishman. When a special friendship with Cardinal Thomas Wolsey grew, along with the attention of the king. So, yeah, I'm going to enjoy that one. I'm looking forward to reading that one. The next one is a book by an author I really like. And I've got a number of his books as well. So he writes a lot on World War II. In Furious Skies. Flying with Hitler's Luftwaffe in the Second World War, written by Tim Heath. It's £25 and published by Pen and Sword Books. Really looking forward to this one because I haven't read one of his books for a little while, so I'm looking forward to this. And I'm kind of friends with him also on Facebook as well, so I've been watching the lead up to him publishing this book, so it's going to be good to get into reading this one. From the inside cover is when a proud Adolf Hitler revealed his new Luftwaffe to the world in March 1935. It was the largest, most modern military air arm the world had seen, equipped with the latest monoplane fighter and bomber aircraft, manned by well-trained and motivated crews. It soon became evident that the Luftwaffe also possessed a high degree of technical superiority over Germany's future enemies. Yet within just 9 years, the once mightiest air force in the world had reached total collapse, destroyed in part by the very people responsible for creating it. By 1944, the Luftwaffe, wearied by aerial battles on multiple fronts, combined with tactical mismanagement from the highest levels of command, were unable to match their enemies in both production and manpower. By this time, the Luftwaffe was fighting for its survival and for the survival of Germany itself. Above the burning cities of the Third Reich, facing odds sometimes as high as 10-1 in the air. Told through the eyes of the fighter and bomber crews themselves, this book explores previously unpublished first-hand accounts of the rise and fall of one of the most formidable air forces in the 20th century. It paints a haunting picture of the excitement, fear, romance intertwined with the brutality, futility and wastefulness that is war. So it sounds good and I'm really looking forward to this one. That's in Furious Skies, Flying with Hitler's Luftwaffe in the Second World War, and written by Tim Heath. Right, the next book also seems interesting to me. It's called The Great Escape Forger. The work of Carl Holmström, prisoner of war number 221, an artist in Stalag Luft 3. Written by Susan Holmström Konovich. So it looks very reminiscent to the old Second World War prisoner of war camps films that you've like The Great Escape. This is priced at £25 and published by Pen and Sword Books. But I really like the cover and kind of it's quite inviting to me, and also on the book, back of the book rather, there's more drawn pictures as well, which I think look really good. As one of many artists confined in Stalag Luft 3, Carl Holmström's superb artwork depicts life as the Kriegs, as a Krieg, created with a perspective only a prisoner of war could draw upon, as an eyewitness to history. He spent the majority of his captivity in the camp made famous by The Great Escape, later made into an award-winning film. While a prisoner of war, he sketched the fellow prisoners and encouraged others to take up drawing as a hobby, thus breaking the boredom up of camp life. But his artistic ability proved to be even more important. Karl forged invaluable official German documents for escape purposes for other prisoners, work that was tedious and painstaking. Remarkably, he saved over 200 examples of his work by carrying them on the appallingly arduous 1945 winter march through Germany, when the camp was evacuated as the Russians closed in from the east. Oh, it's going to be a good one as well. It's plenty of one of those books where it's got plenty of text, but it's also got a good amount of photographs and pictures as well. So that's The Great Escape Forger, the work of Karl Holmström, Prisoner of War 221, an artist in Stalingrad 3. I shall leave a link to all these books down below this video in the description. So if you fancy a copy of one, then just follow the links through and you should be able to get a copy. Next book is Voices of Russian Snipers. Eyewitness Red Army accounts from World War II. I'm really not sure I'm going to say the authors because I'm going to end up butchering them, and you know I'm no good at Russian names, but we've got written by Artem Drabkin and Andrei Ulyanov. I think I've managed that. That's Voices of Russian Snipers, published by Greenhill Books and priced at £25. And on the back it says, a unique overview of Russian snipers in the Second World War. Personal accounts from male and female snipers. Features recollections of fighting on retreat in the first months through the advance to victory in Germany itself in 1945. Compiled by and with the authoritative commentary from expert Russian historians. Frank and revealing accounts of life in the Soviet Union before and during the war. Right, I've got 2 books left. One on a different subject to World War II. We have The Real Queen Charlotte. Inside the Real Bridgerton Court, written by Catherine Curzon, who I've read quite a few of her books, and she's an excellent author. I would highly recommend reading her work. On the back it says the story, published by Pen and Sword Books, priced at £20. The story of Queen Charlotte, or Mecklenburg-Strelitz, the imperious snuff-snorting queen of Bridgerton. From teen bride to fearsome matriarch, she stood loyally by the side of King George III for nearly 60 years. Charlotte was mother to 15 children, and she was determined to rule them with a rod of iron. Original letters and papers tell a personal story of a remarkable woman who lived in an extraordinary life in the full glare of the public eye. Which kind of sounds a bit similar to recent events. And the last book I have is from Osprey Books, To Save an Army, The Stalingrad Airlift, written by Robert Forsyth. Published by Osprey and priced at £25 or $35 US. And I've got some quotes here from the back. Robert Forsyth's skill at unearthing rare primary material has produced a remarkable and revelatory narrative. It gives a true insight into the near Herculean effort of the Luftwaffe to keep the trapped Sixth Army alive in history's bloodiest campaign, and that's from an Ian McGregor, author of The Lighthouse of Stalingrad, The Hidden Truth at the Centre of World War II's Greatest Battles. And then I'll read this quote here as well from Pritzbuter. In this detailed account of the doomed attempt to keep the encircled German Sixth Army alive in Stalingrad by air, Robert Forsyth gives readers a fresh look at the precedents that led to a fatal decision to rely on an airlift and the tragedy that unfolded. For anyone interested in both the detail and the difficulties of mounting the Stalingrad Airlift, this book is essential reading. From Pritzbuter, author of The Reckoning, The Defeat of the Army Group South, 44. Sounds really good. And as I said earlier, I'll leave a link down below this video. And if you fancy a copy, then just follow the links and you should be able to get your own copy. That is all I have for the book haul. Thank you very much for watching. I hope everybody else is well. All your families are happy and you're all getting along well. If you want to, please feel free to leave any comments about the books. Maybe there's one of the books you fancy. Or maybe if you want to suggest which one I should read first, then please let me know down in the comments down below. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, and I shall see you very soon.